In today's incredibly competitive short-term rental market, especially in these stunning destinations like Kavala, Paleosofliki, Nia Uriklica, and Nia Paromos, those first impressions aren't just important, they are, well, they're everything.
Absolutely.
You could have the most beautifully furnished place, maybe a breathtaking sea view, but if your online presence doesn't really capture that magic, potential guests are just going to scroll right past.
They really will. Gone in a second.
That's why today we're doing a deep dive into why professional photography isn't just some, nice to have extra.
Right.
It's truly a powerful advantage, maybe even a secret weapon for success in this space. We're drawing our insights from the source material. Excerpts from professional Airbnb photography, Kavala Boost, STR bookings, 40% Planbnb.
Yeah, it really boils down to just standing out. Your listing has to pop,
Yeah.
in a really crowded marketplace.
Gotta grab them quick.
Exactly. Capturing that elusive first glance and turning it into an actual booking before someone just, moves on to the next shiny option.
And when we talk about that kind of impact, what are the real numbers? What kind of tangible difference are we actually talking about here for a property owner?
Well, the data is pretty compelling, actually. Recent studies from Airbnb, they reveal that listings featuring professional photography earn a staggering 40% more revenue compared to those using amateur photos.
Wow, 40%.
40%.
Yeah.
Now, think about that for a second. In peak season, in the Kavala region, where, competition for guests is fierce,
Right.
that 40% can be the literal difference between a fully booked calendar and, frankly, struggling to get reservations.
That's huge.
It is. Properties with those crisp, well-lit, professionally composed images don't just look better. They consistently rank higher in search results.
The algorithm likes them too.
Exactly. And they can command premium pricing, all because guests often make these split-second decisions based purely on, visual appeal.
40% is massive. I mean, that's not just a marginal gain. That's potentially transformative for someone's business. But I can almost hear some listeners thinking, okay, but my smartphone camera is really good. Isn't that enough these days? My new phone takes amazing pictures. Is professional just about having, fancy gear, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, that's a very common thought. And look, modern smartphones are incredibly capable, no doubt.
They are pretty amazing.
But professional Airbnb photography,
Well, they're pretty amazing.
it goes far, far beyond just the equipment. It's fundamentally about understanding lighting, composition, staging, and crucially, storytelling through images.
Storytelling, okay.
Yeah. A professional isn't just snapping a photo. They're trying to capture the emotional experience a guest is actively looking for.
Right, the feeling.
Exactly. So, for instance, take a beachfront property in Nia Paromos. It's about shooting during that golden hour to really showcase that warm, inviting sunset atmosphere,
Yeah, makes you want to be there.
Or maybe for a mountain retreat near Kavala, it's about highlighting those cozy interior spaces that promise comfort after a day out exploring, making them feel like a genuine, welcoming haven.
That makes perfect sense. So it's not just the artistic eye, although that's important, but also a technical foundation.
Definitely.
What are some of those technical elements that really make this level of photography possible beyond what even the best smartphone can achieve?
You're hitting on a crucial point there. There's a significant technical edge, and professional-grade equipment isn't just fancier. It actually solves specific problems that phones often create.
Like what?
Well, we're talking about things like wide-angle lenses. Proper ones can capture entire rooms without that weird fisheye distortion you often get with smartphone wide lenses.
Yeah, where the walls look curved.
Exactly. So rooms look spacious and inviting, not warped. Then there's professional lighting equipment. That ensures consistent illumination, preventing those frustrating dark corners or harsh shadows that can plague amateur shots. And then you've got advanced editing software. This allows for really precise color correction and exposure optimization that, smartphone apps just can't replicate with the same finesse.
Right.
But maybe even more important than the gear itself is the photographer's deep understanding of platform-specific requirements.
Platform-specific, like how Airbnb wants things.
Precisely. For example, Airbnb's algorithm actually seems to favor listings with, say, at least 20 high-resolution horizontal images.
Horizontal. Interesting. Not vertical like phone shots.
Right. It can even penalize listings that rely too heavily on vertical shots because they often get cropped awkwardly, especially on mobile view. Knowing these exact specs can directly boost your search ranking.
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating for me. It's not just about documenting a space accurately, but like you said, storytelling, painting a picture of a dream vacation. How does a professional photographer help create that aspirational feeling, especially when they're working with, the existing decor? We're talking about the art of staging, right?
Absolutely. Professional photography goes hand in hand with expert staging.
Okay.
And you've nailed it. It's not always about bringing in expensive new furniture or doing complete redesigns.
Okay.
Often it's about creating these aspirational spaces that tell a story, but without feeling, contrived or fake.
Right, keeping it authentic.
Exactly. So for a beachfront property in Nia Iraklica, this might mean crisp, fresh white linens to evoke that luxury resort vibe.
Nice.
They'd be strategically placed beach accessories, a hat, a towel, a book that subtly suggests adventure or relaxation. Or sometimes it's as simple as ensuring the balconies are clean, uncluttered, to perfectly showcase that amazing sea view.
So sometimes less is more.
Definitely. Sometimes the secret weapon in staging isn't adding things, but strategically removing them. Overstaged or really generic decor can ironically make a property feel less personal and authentic, especially in culturally rich locations like Paleo Tefliki. Less is often more. Let the unique architecture, the local character, speak for itself.
That makes sense.
So for a traditional property, it might be about highlighting those authentic Greek architectural details, using warm lighting to create inviting interiors, maybe showcasing some local artifacts that tell the story of the region, even setting up outdoor spaces to suggest dining al fresco or just relaxing.
We've talked about the why and the how behind professional photography, but the proof, as they say, is often in the pudding. Can you share a real-world example? What kind of financial impact can this investment actually have? I know you mentioned Maria's case study earlier.
Yeah, Maria's story from Nia Paramos is a perfect illustration of the ROI, the return on investment. She invested, I think it was around €800 professional photography for her two-bedroom apartment.
Okay, 800 euros.
Right. Before that, using her own amateur photos, she was generating roughly €2,400 per month during the peak season.
Okay, decent, but...
Decent, but watch this. After implementing the professional imagery, her booking rate increased by 35%.
35%.
And not just that, her average nightly rate went up by €15.
Wow.
And maybe just as important, her guest reviews started consistently mentioning that the property looked exactly like the photos. That built trust, and it also likely helped her search rankings too.
Right, positive reinforcement loop.
Exactly. The outcome. Her $800 investment essentially paid for itself within about 3 months. And she continues to see sustained revenue increases year-round simply because her property converts browsers into bookers much more effectively.
That kind of quick return, that makes it a really compelling investment, doesn't it?
It really does.
So when we talk about getting those eyes on your listing and converting them into actual bookings, what are the absolute key elements professionals master? Especially considering the unique challenges of a place like the Kavala region, maybe the intense sun you mentioned.
Yeah, it largely comes down to mastering light and composition. Lighting, especially in places with that intense Mediterranean sun like the Greek coast, well, it's truly the make or break factor.
Make or break, okay.
Properties, particularly those coastal ones in, say, Nia Iraklica, they present unique challenges. You've got intense sun, potentially creating harsh shadows outside, or maybe traditional stone interiors that can appear quite dark in photo.
Right, I can picture that.
Professionals know how to balance that natural light with subtle artificial illumination. They know when to shoot exteriors to get the best angles and avoid overexposure. They use reflectors, they enhance spaces digitally, but crucially, without making them look artificial or unnatural.
Okay, that's the light part. What about composition?
Right, composition. It's about using the frame to tell that visual story we talked about. There are a few key secrets, if you like. First is the welcome shot.
The welcome shot.
Yeah, that's your hero image. The first one people see. It needs to immediately communicate the property's absolute best feature-like, maybe a perfectly framed balcony view for a Kavala waterfront property. It hooks them in.
Gotcha. First impression.
Exactly. Then there's what you could call the flow story. This isn't just one static shot. It's about using a series of images to illustrate the natural rhythm of how someone would actually live and relax in your space.
Oh, interesting, like leading them through.
Kind of, yeah. Subtly guiding the eye, maybe from the inviting living area, through a clear doorway into the bright kitchen, perhaps ending on a perfectly set coffee station ready for the morning. It shows how the space works.
I like that. And the third?
And finally, the aspiration factor. This is about showing possibilities, helping guests envision their ideal stay.
The dream vacation part again.
Exactly. Think maybe a perfectly made bed bathed in soft morning light, perhaps with a half-read book and a steaming mug on the nightstand. It's inviting them to imagine themselves having that perfect lazy morning right there in your property.
That really paints a picture. So on the flip side then, what are some of the most common, maybe almost self-sabotaging photography mistakes that you see property owners make? Things that can absolutely kill bookings, even for an otherwise great place.
Oh, there are several critical errors that pop up again and again. First one, probably the most common now with phones, vertical images.
We touched on that.
Yeah. While smartphones really encourage them, horizontal images just perform much better on booking platforms. They show more of a room, they fit the standard display formats better.
Okay, so landscape, not portrait.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
Second big one, personal items visible. Things like family photos cluttering the shelves, personal toiletries all over the bathroom counter.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Or just general clutter. It immediately signals amateur, and worse, it can make guests feel like they're intruding in someone else's home, not like they're in their vacation space.
Right, breaks the illusion.
Completely.
Yeah.
Third, inconsistent lighting. Mixing photos taken at wildly different times of day, maybe some bright and sunny, others dark and shadowy. It just creates a really unprofessional and jarring appearance.
What's messy?
It does. And fourth, simply missing key angles. Failing to photograph important amenities, maybe there's a great washing machine but no photo of it, or using awkward, unflattering angles that make rooms look smaller or weirdly shaped, or, surprisingly often, omitting crucial exterior shots of the building itself or the immediate neighborhood.
Yeah.
Guests want context.
Right.
Honestly, I've seen it all. From like laundry hanging in the background to half-eaten meals still on the kitchen counter in the photos.
No, seriously.
Seriously, it's those seemingly little details that can instantly shatter that carefully crafted aspiration.
That's fascinating how those small things can have such a disproportionately big negative impact. So thinking about today's world, this rapidly evolving digital age,
Yeah.
how is technology playing a role? How is it elevating professional short-term rental photography beyond just, traditional cameras and lenses?
Oh, technology has become a huge enabler. It's offering capabilities that really enhance the guest experience before they even click book.
Like what sort of things?
Well, professionals are increasingly leveraging tools like virtual staging. This is amazing because it allows them to show beautifully furnished spaces, even if the property is currently empty, maybe between tenants or undergoing minor renovations.
So you can show the potential.
Exactly. Then there's drone photography. This offers absolutely stunning aerial views, which is particularly powerful for scenic locations around Kavala, right? Showcasing proximity to the sea, the layout of the property, the neighborhood vibe from above.
Yeah, those shots are always impressive.
They really are. In HDR, high dynamic range photography, this is a technique that ensures balanced exposure across the whole image.
Okay, what does that mean practically?
It means it captures the full spectrum of light, from a sun-drenched balcony outside to a cozy, maybe shadowy interior corner, all in a single, clear image. It prevents those frustrating blown-out white windows where you can't see the view, or those super dark corners where details get lost. Phones try to do this, but professional HDR is on another level. We're also seeing more virtual tour integration.
Yeah.
Things like Matterport scans. Especially helpful for properties maybe in Paleoceflaki or Nia Iraklitsa, where you might get international travelers who really want to explore remotely before committing. It builds huge confidence.
Allows them to walk through online.
Precisely. And beyond all the cool tech, there's a really powerful psychological impact happening too. Clean, professional, well-composed images inherently signal professionalism and attention to detail from the host.
Subconscious cues.
Exactly. It builds trust before a guest even books. An accurate representation, showing the place as it truly is, sets the right expectations. That leads directly to better reviews and higher ratings down the line. No nasty surprises on arrival.
It really makes you think about how much we consume visually these days, doesn't it? Our attention spans are, well, pretty short. And a single image, or maybe the first few images, truly holds so much power. So, for listeners who are now thinking, okay, maybe I should make this move, what should they expect when they actually hire and work with a professional photographer? And importantly, how can they truly measure the success of that investment afterward?
Right. Good questions. When hiring professional photography services, say in the Kavala region, you should expect a pretty comprehensive process. It usually starts with an initial consultation.
Okay, a chat first.
Yeah, a chat to discuss your property's unique features, who your target guests are, your competitive positioning in the market. It's almost like a mini marketing strategy session, really.
Good.
This is usually followed by staging guidance. They won't just show up. They'll likely give you a checklist or advice on exactly how to prepare the space for the best shots.
Helpful. Decluttering and stuff.
Exactly. And then scheduling the shoot itself, aiming for the optimal lighting conditions based on the property's orientation. The actual shoot typically takes maybe 2 to 4 hours, depending on the size and complexity of the property.
And how many photos do you usually get?
You should expect somewhere in the range of 30 to 50 final, high-quality, edited images. Then comes the post-production work, which is key. This involves color correction, exposure optimization, maybe minor digital staging adjustments if needed.
Tidying things up digitally.
A little bit, yeah. Finally, you'll receive the photos, usually in web-optimized versions, specifically sized for platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com, plus the high-resolution files for any other marketing you might do, brochures, websites, social media.
Okay, that sounds thorough. Are there other benefits?
Yeah, many photographers specializing in this niche also offer additional benefits. Things like seasonal updates, maybe getting fresh summer shots for a place in the Klitsa to highlight the beach access, and then different, cozier winter shots later. Package deals from multiple properties are common too. And good ones will ensure cross-platform optimization, understanding the nuances between how Airbnb displays photos versus, say, Booking.com.
Right, they're not all the same. And measuring success, how do you track the ROI?
Definitely track the metrics. Look at your click-through rates from search results of more people clicking on your listing. Monitor the time guests spend viewing your photos on the listing page itself. Are they engaging more?
Okay.
Obviously, track your booking conversion rates. Are more lookers becoming bookers? Keep an eye on whether you can sustain a higher average nightly rate. And crucially, pay attention to your guest reviews. Are people mentioning the photos? Are they saying the place lived up to the pictures? Those are all direct indicators of impact.
That all sounds like a really smart play, especially in such a competitive market like Kavala. As we sort of look ahead now, what are some of the emerging trends you see in short-term rental photography? And how should owners really frame the investment decision, given everything we've discussed?
Looking ahead, we're definitely seeing trends like even deeper lifestyle integration in photos, not just showing the space, but showing people using the space or hinting at the lifestyle.
Like someone reading on the balcony?
Exactly. Also, sustainability showcasing is becoming bigger, subtly highlighting eco-friendly features and really leaning into highlighting local culture. So for properties in the Kavala region, this might mean images that subtly suggest connections to nearby local markets, emphasize walkable distances to historical sites, or even show off local products used in the welcome basket, perhaps.
Interesting. Keeping it relevant.
Yeah, good professionals stay current with these trends to ensure your property appeals to what guests are looking for now. Now, regarding the investment decision, professional photography in this region, it typically costs somewhere between, say, 500 and 1,500 euro for a complete property shoot.
Okay, that's the ballpark.
Right. And while that might seem like a significant chunk up front, you have to weigh it against the potential return. Remember Maria's case. A single additional booking per month or that 15 nightly rate increase can easily cover this cost very quickly.
Right. The ROI is fast.
Exactly. Most property owners we see investing in this see a full return on that investment within just 2 to 3 months. And the benefits, higher occupancy, better rates, better reviews, they last for years till a property changes significantly.
So when choosing someone?
When choosing a photographer, definitely look for specific STR short-term rental experience. Check their portfolio. Do they have strong local market knowledge? Have they successfully shot properties similar to yours? Don't just pick any wedding or portrait photographer. Pick one who understands the business of short-term rentals and what drives bookings.
That seems like crucial advice. It's abundantly clear, listening to all this, that in today's fiercely competitive short-term rental market, professional photography really isn't a luxury item anymore, is it?
Not at all.
It feels like a strategic necessity. For property owners in places like Kavala, Paleosifliki, Nia Klitsa, Nia Paramos, investing in these high-quality images seems to directly impact revenue, guest satisfaction, and ultimately the long-term success of the business. It really does sound like a potential game changer.
It absolutely is. And maybe the final thought for listeners is this. The real question isn't whether you can afford professional photography, given the potential returns. The real question is, can you afford not to have it? In a market where guests are making booking decisions in mere seconds, scrolling endlessly, your photos are without a shadow of a doubt your single most powerful marketing tool.
Mm.
So maybe take a moment after this. Go look at your own listing. Consider the visual story your current photos are telling. Is it truly capturing the magic you know your property holds? Or is it maybe leaving bookings on the table?